Hello, DC designers. This is Matt Burgess from the Interaction Design Foundation. You are watching this video most likely because I just sent you an email. And this email is specifically following up on a survey I've been conducting over the past month in the hopes to get continued participation in the survey, as well as support the community in taking next steps. And I'll show you a lot of information here. This is just a brief readout of what we found, and then a few calls to action. But the gist of the problem, and this is just from my experience, with the exception of a few stints, I've lived in this area my entire life, and my growth as a designer has involved a lot of time on the road, going to events and then getting home after them and passing out and then going to work the next day. And they're always rewarding, but it is just they're happening all over the place in interesting areas, and rarely is there one that just happens to be right next door to me. And my hope is that in understanding where people are at certain times of day, with a large amount of anonymity there, so that we're not trying to track people, that we can start to understand where there is opportunity and overlap between people's schedules and desires to attend events. The one thing I'll say as I show you this data, pretty consistently, first thing in the morning, people generally don't want to do anything. Lunch, maybe a little bit more. Afternoon, it picks up a bit, and then the evening spot, 6 to 9 p.m. That's when, right now, we have the most interest, but we only have about a 12% response rate. So I'll provide an opportunity, if you haven't participated in this survey, to add your information to it. Because ideally, we just want to find these areas where there's interest and opportunity in population where we can make these things happen. The survey I'm talking about, if you don't recall, it is this one, the IxDF DC Design Meeting Locations. I will include a link to this in the comments, so if you haven't filled it out, you can fill it out and we can get better representation. But again, we're just trying to work to uncover the need here. A fun thing about the DC area, and this has cropped quite a bit, because the DC group has members out in Hagerstown, Maryland, Frederick, Maryland. I want to say there may be one in Winchester, a handful in Richmond, Virginia, some in Baltimore. But you can see we have members here as far out as Annapolis and Gaithersburg, Ashburn, Leesburg, Manassas, Haymarket. But a vast majority of people in IxDF Washington, D.C. they identify as being in Washington, D.C., and that's why that dark pin is right in the middle there. There is a decent amount of folks in Alexandria, and then Arlington, and then I think it's Adelphi. Maybe they're University of Maryland, University College students, but up in that area, as well as Bethesda, Gaithersburg, Rockville. So we have a large concentration. Roughly a third of the population is in DC proper, but the other 2/3 are sort of spread out. And in DC, based on the information, this distribution was pretty consistent across the times of day, but this is information for the evening slot, is that we have a vast majority of the folks in DC are interested in attending things in the evening in downtown and near the mall, with a slight drop off as you move northwest towards Rock Creek Park and up that way, and then up into Silver Spring and near Howard University. So just a fun distribution. There were some in the evening in Anacostia and through here, but it was a relatively small amount. There are also strong areas of interest, or also strong interest in the following areas, which are Alexandria, College Park, and Bethesda, as I mentioned. So if you're in any of those areas and you'd like to support a meetup, I'm happy to coordinate with you, collaborate with you. We also have a group in Alexandria that has a local leader who is really great, and I'm happy to introduce you to him and help facilitate a connection there. But if there's something you'd like to do, I'm happy to talk with you first and hash it out, and then we can connect with you and see what he thinks. Generally, people are interested in the big thing here was co-attending events. So if there's a conference or some other event, just connecting and saying, hey, let's all go to this and have a discussion about it. This doesn't make a differentiation between virtual events and in-person events, but this whole thing is about in-person. So we're going to assume that a vast majority of people thought it might be interesting to co-attend events like conferences. Next was panel discussions, and then workshops and design lectures and co-creation. The lower scoring ones were not by much. I mean, having lunch together and chatting, but the coffee chat and happy hour sort of let's grab beverages, let's grab a snack and have a just have social time and maybe talk shop, commiserate about the challenges of design and research. So interesting opportunities here because there weren't really many that were super low scores other than the lunch and chat. So it seems like there's genuine interest across a number of different types of activities. But again, there's only about a 12% response rate. So if you haven't already, please go jump in the survey if this has activated you, if this has inspired you, and respond to the survey. It takes about a minute, and it really is just answering the same question 4 times based on different times of day, and then including information about the activities you're interested in. And if you happen to be in one of these areas, whether it's in the evening specifically, or if you're in College Park or Bethesda at any time, there may be an opportunity to host something earlier in the day for College Park and Bethesda specifically. But for the most part in the evening, if you're in any of these areas where there's strong interest, so downtown in the mall, and then heading up into northwest and northern section of DC, as well as Alexandria, Bethesda, College Park, all those. And you're interested in hosting an event, you have an idea, just reach out to me. My email's here, mattburgess.ixdf@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on Discord. If you're there, I'll leave a link in the comments of this video. But at a minimum, if you can, just go back and fill out this survey if you haven't already. And just let me know what your thoughts are. I'm always happy to talk about this and see where there is opportunity to help the DC design community connect and have good conversations in a way that is efficient and inspiring at the same time.